Hey guys, so today we're going to be talking about multiplying and dividing decimals real quickly. Yesterday you guys talked about adding and subtracting and multiplying, or you talked about multiplying fractions. The rest of this week we're going to spend our time talking about multiplying and dividing decimals, things like that, as well as all operations for fractions as well. So I have two examples here of multiplying decimals. And I'm going to pull you guys just a little bit closer so that way you guys can see. So my first example is 36 hundredths times 7 8/10. And I'm sure that Miss King has showed you guys a couple different ways to do this. I'm going to show you how I kind of taught my kids how to do it. And remember that whenever you're multiplying or dividing decimals, you do not have to line that decimal place up. So the way that I'm going to choose to set this up is like this. So my decimal places aren't lined up. I'm just doing them just like this. And I know that whenever I multiply decimals, what I told my kids is they have to kick out that decimal. So we want to make sure that it's out of the way, so that way it just looks like we're multiplying two whole numbers like we're used to. So if I make 36 hundredths into 36, I have to move it out 2 times. If I make 7 8/10, 78, I have to move it out 1 time. So then I just kind of note over there to the side how many times that I've had to move my decimal. And I know that that's a total of 3 times. So then I'm going to go ahead and multiply like I typically would. So I know that 6 times 8 is 48. Carry my 4 up top. Then I have 8 times 3, which is 24, plus 4 is 28. Now, I'm finished with the ones place, so I have to cross it out, add that 0. 7 times 6 right here I know is 42. 2, carry my 4 back up. 7 times 3 is 21, plus 4 is 25. So I end up with this, and I know that whenever I'm down here I have to add my numbers together. So I get 2808, and I know that that's not correct. I know that I took my decimal place out 3 times, so I've got to add it back in 3 times. So 1, 2, 3 there. So my real answer is 2 808 thousandths. So there's my answer to that problem. Now down here at the bottom one, I have 18 2/10 times 6 4/10. So I'm going to do this one the same way that I did on that one. This one just so happens where the way that I've wrote it, my decimal point lines up, but remember, it does not have to line up. So I'm going to kick it out. I kicked that one out once. I kicked 6.4 out 1 time. Now I'm ready to multiply, just like I typically would. So I know that 2 times 4 is 8. Carry my 1. 4 times 8 is 32, plus 1 is 33, carry my 3, 4 times 1 is 3, plus 3 is 7, cross it out, I'm ready to go with the 6. I know that 6 times 2 is 12, carry my 1, 8 times 6 is 48, plus 1 is 49, carry my 4, 6 times 1 is 6, plus 4 is 10, add them up. So I'm here. I have to add 8 plus 0 is 8, 3 plus 2 is 5, 7 plus 9, 16, carry my 1. So I end up with 11,658, but I have to add my decimal. I took it out a total of 2 times. I have to add it back in 2 times. 1, 2. That leaves me with 116 58 hundredths. There you go. All right. On to dividing decimals. Whenever I go to divide 2 decimals, there's a couple things that you guys need to remember. The first number in your problem right here is always going to go inside of your house. So my 4.8 goes inside of the house. I have my 6 hundredths. It's going to go on the outside. There you go. Now, this number on the outside of your house cannot have a decimal in it. I've got to kick that decimal all the way out. So that means that I have to move it 2 times. I have to make sure that that's a 6. It's a whole number. It's got to be a whole number on the outside. 4.8. I have to do the same thing that I do to this side over here. So I move my decimal 2 places over here. I have to also move my decimal 2 places right there. So that means that I end up with a blank, and anywhere there's a blank, I add a 0. So the actual problem that I solve whenever I'm dividing is 480 divided by 6. Well, 6 can go into 48 8 times. That's 48 minus 0. 6 can go into 0 0 times, 0 0. My answer to this is 80. Now, problem down on the bottom, it's a little bit different. First number right here, 5 and 79/100. This could stand for if I bought 3 bananas at $5.79, how many does 1 banana cost? This is a good example of a question that's like this. My $5.79 is going to go inside of my house, and my 3 is going to go on the outside of my house. Now, I have a whole number over here, so that means I'm good. I'm ready to divide, but I have that little decimal right in there. And decimals, they like to sit on the roof of the house. So I always have to bring that decimal up first if I don't have to move it to where it's sitting on the top of my house. So now I can start dividing. 3 goes into 5 1 times. 1 times 3 is 3. 5 minus 3 is 2. Have to bring that 7 down. 3 goes into 27 9 times. Look at where I'm putting my 9. I'm making sure that all my place values here are lining up. So 9 times 3 is 27. I subtract. I get left with 0. I have to bring back down that 9. 3 goes into 9 3 times. 3 times 3 is 9. 0. So that means that this problem equals $1.93. So if I were to buy 3 bananas for $5.79, I would have paid $1.93 for each banana. So you guys are going to work on a couple different activities today with multiplying and dividing decimals. The first one's going to be a sheet. It has 6 questions on there. If you need help, you need to come back to this video and watch this video so that way you'll know what's going on. Then you're going to do a study island piece. And there's 2 different assignments in there. You need to do 10 questions on each one. Okay?